are speaking about raising strong-willed children. And we have an expert, our super nanny, Deborah Tillman. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so exciting because I watch your show all the time, and we share our manager, so we love her. But when I saw your show and just sitting down, I was just telling you that I watched like 10 episodes back to back because I'm a first-time mom. And we're speaking about how to raise a strong-willed child. Does that start? Does it discipline or?
Well, actually, wait, we got to say you have a strong-willed child.
I have a strong-willed child.
You were a strong-willed child. I have a strong-willed child. My daughter's 15. Your daughter's not even 2.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a kind of a question. So we thought, you know what? Maybe we can get that Deborah Tillman. She kind of knows about this stuff.
And so, how do you raise a strong-willed child?
Well, we like strong-willed children.
Okay.
Yeah,
I do.
We do. And America should. Everybody should, because they're very clear about what they want in life.
Yes.
And if you steer them the right way, they can wind up being great leaders. And so that's what you really want. The problem with strong-willed,
and if you don't steer them the right way, they could grow up to be tyrants.
Is that, it could be a Hitler or, you know, Obama.
Which is bad.
Yeah. So you want to set out guidelines and principles early on. You really have to let them know that you're the parent. Okay, you are in control, but you don't want to do it in a way that's going to create a battle with them.
Well, before we get into that, why is it that in this generation, in our generation, parents seem to have no ability to say, I'm the parent, it's almost like the boomer generation created people that want to be kids forever, and they feel uncomfortable saying, I'm the parent, you're the kid. What do you say to that parent that says, I don't know how to do that?
Yeah, well, there's a whole lot of reasons why that whole thing started. You know, we got the generation of the latchkey kids, and then the parents started feeling guilty because they had to spend a lot of time at work.
The guilt.
The guilt factor, and the guilt factor really does resonate with a lot of my families that I go to across this country. I mean, just the fact that I'm not spending enough time with them, so let me give them something. And I keep telling parents, stop giving children things. Give them your heart. Give them your experiences.
Your time.
Communicate with them. Yes, because to a child, time means love.
Everything. It means everything.
You love me, you'll spend time with me. Not you love me, you'll give me an iPad.
Well, yeah, because and then that they react to every adult that way, in the level of respect.
That's right.
If it's not established, you know, if your mom is not saying this is your aunt and you need to respect her when she comes into the room, give her a kiss.
Exactly.
It's just
or say hello.
Or just say hello and get off your phone, which I feel like you said.
Basic principles.
Well, we
have lost.
We had old school parents. I mean,
did.
your mother, my parents, they would not put up with any guff.
And the
they're like,
neighbors
we're
either.
the parents, and if you just, I will kill you, right? So we were good kids.
Yes.
But today, it does seem that parents they have a problem with that.
Yeah, they've lost their edge because they've lost their way. And I think for me, when I go into houses, I try not to be judgmental. The biggest thing for me is to go in and to help them. Because really, it starts with the parent.
It does.
You know, they say, my kid does this, my kid does that. And look at my kid, Deborah. See, Deborah, see? Pointing out all the negative things with their children. And then I'm like, yeah, but turn that pointer at yourself.
Unfortunately,
because you're just like yelling and screaming at your husband.
Yeah.
And the kids are right there watching.
Well, because children model the behavior. They mimic of what they see.
Right.
Actually, that's the big one. I'm sorry. What she just said, to mimic the behavior. When I see couples, and this is a rule my wife and I have, we could kill each other in private, but never argue and undermine each other in front of the children. That's like number one.
Don't do it.
And I mean, that's the worst thing a spouse can do to the other spouse is to do that.
And even when you have single parents, you know, I find a lot of times where the mom or dad will, you know, talk about the other parent in a negative way. And to a child, the child says, I come from both of you. And so when you're talking about daddy, there's something wrong with me. There's a hole in my soul because you're talking about him so bad. Or, you know, you're just going to grow up to be just like your father, nothing. You know, when you speak those words out of your mouth into the atmosphere, you're destroying their divine destiny. And that's not okay.
Yeah, that's powerful. And so, okay, so the first is...
consistency, boundaries. Boundaries.
So how does a mother not feel like, oh, they're feeling rejected? How do you set those boundaries in a positive way? Because sometimes if you're like, no, I just want to have my time. If you tell your child, you know, like, I just want some time alone, how do you not make them feel like, oh, mommy does not want me?
Right. you basically show love by actions. So, you know, you just talk to your children. I never baby talk Zeppelin. So it was always like, if mommy needs 5 minutes just to regroup, I would tell him, mommy needs 5 minutes just for herself to calm down so that she can give you her undivided attention in baby terms or however old they are.
But
That's
they
age appropriate.
understand that there's
But
a
they
concept.
understand.
Yeah.
When you just do whatever you do and scream and holler and walk away, they don't get that. So explain to your children what's going on. Not everything, but you know, if you're feeling a certain way, don't lie.
And I would say, and on the other hand, what you have said at other times is that, you know, you can't explain everything to your kids. And if your kid doesn't understand, they need to trust you that
That's right.
you're the parent and
it's
they
gonna
need to
be okay.
listen and it's going to be okay. Not that you have to
Exactly.
explain everything and convince them.
Exactly.
Because when I see parents trying to convince their kids to do
Don't
stuff,
get the
I
candy.
think,
Yeah, you
oh
can't have the
my
candy now
gosh.
because it's dinner time. And an hour from now, then you can have, oh, it happens in my school all the time. Oh, it's ridiculous. And so I say, Mom, stop. You're not getting a piece of candy because your report says that you didn't have a good day. Thank you, goodbye. And they look at me like, Miss Tillman.
I know, when I've seen it on the show.
Do it.
But some of these are actually like, they're so simple. They're not even that complicated.
There you go.
But because our life is complicated
There you
and
go.
because we're feeling, because when I've seen you go into the house,
it.
you're like, oh, it's just a little millimeter. Go
You're
that
like-
way. And the mother's like, I've never done that before. And there's complete bliss
Yes.
in the home.
And I'm so glad you said that. All of this is never complicated. Parenting is not complicated. We make it complicated by not following through and not doing what we say we're going to do.
The follow through.
But if you do what you say and you really, you know, live the foundations of the Bible, which is start with yourself, model the behavior, discipline and love, all of these commands that we really do have in the Bible, if we did that, our children would have a better chance at reaching their divine destiny and their fullest potential.
Okay, so you have a book out right now. The title of the book is?
Parenting on purpose.
On Purpose.
Parenting
On purpose.
As opposed to?
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose?
Doing
By
anything
I
you
just
want.
figured that
By
out.
mistake. Doing anything
Okay.
you want. Grabbing
All
at
right.
the straws.
Well, folks can get that. If they can't get it in our e-store, they can get it someplace else. But it's just great to have you. We're going to have you back
Yes,
ASAP.
we're excited.
Thanks for being with us. We'll be right back.